Ambient glitch music using Lumafusion. Alright, here we go. I'm going to sample some synths, 6 of them to be exact. And I sped all this up, by the way. It's 400% faster, so we get through this a lot quicker. I'm going to use the switcher in Lumafusion to make music, to make a music video. So I'm grabbing those 6 videos, screen recordings of the 6 synths I just made, and going to throw them each of the 6 slots in this video switcher. And then I'm just going to tap on them randomly for a brief second. This was the trial here. It didn't really work out, but I'd never done it before, so just thought I'd try. As you can see some of the screen recording. You can see some of the, like the iPad turning off the screen recording, things like that. So I didn't want it to look like that. So I'm going to go back here in a second and edit them all. So I'm going to edit them in the Photos app and just kind of shorten them. You'll see that here. And that way they're pretty much audio the whole time, but it has the beginning, no click at the beginning, and then at the end, and no screen recording looking thing, because we're going to actually use it in a music video here using PaulStretch. I'm going to use the same audio from these synths, stretch it out quite a bit, and then put this back on top of it using the video switcher for visuals, and also keep the sound from the original screen recordings in there. So it kind of has like a glitchy ambient sound. And this was the first time I did it. And by the way, I'm using the R7, R-07 Roland recorder for this. Going directly into Lumafusion took me about an hour to get it back working again, as the thing is very outdated. And actually I had to use the PC USB audio version to get it in there, not the iOS one. For whatever reason, who cares? I had to use some old Skull Candy earbuds through a USB port as well, so I can't really hear myself talking right now, so I'm just kind of winging it. Anyway, using the switcher, so I'm only using Lumafusion to make this, right? So I'm going to add some audio effects in later. I'll use MIXBOX and just add 4 slots in there just to give it some effects, like a VHS tape, hiss, warbly, lossy kind of generation loss kind of sound. I try to use mostly 80s style synths or presets from that era to give it that VHS kind of sound too. And so with the video switcher, you're only playing one of the videos at one time, right? So they're not overlapping. It's not a multi-track. So I just went and just tapped them a bunch of times, and then what I'm gonna do is export that to another Lumafusion project. So I'll export it as as a video, and then I'll go back and I think I'm doing that right now. Yeah, I'm doing it right now on screen. So I'm going to export it as all the switcher version, so just one little clip at a time. And I also exported the audio, and we threw it into PaulStretch here. I threw it into PaulStretch here, and I'm going to stretch it out so it lasts. I think I wound up doing, right now I think it says 8.7 on screen. I'm not sure how long I went eventually, but I added binaural beats, frequency shift, some noise, and then the tonal sound, which is kind of eliminates the transients and a lot of frequency, just kind of raise it up so it still has a lot of the noise and artifacts that come with stretching it out, and gives it that nice ambient kind of texture sound too. And then I exported it, the audio back, and we'll throw it back in Lumafusion. And then what I was trying to say a few minutes ago is I was adding the switcher videos that I made there, and I exported it to a video, and I'm going to kind of layer that up. Not layer it, I'm going to extend it so it goes longer instead of just like 5 seconds. You'll see it all here in a few minutes. I'll throw in some timestamps too, I believe. Yeah, I'll do that. All right, I'm going to pause here for a second. All right, I forgot I was doing a voiceover in Lumafusion and can actually pause it. So I just went and paused it, and I'm back. So now I'm going to export this. Wait, what am I doing here? I came in the wrong spot. Yeah, I exported the audio. All right. and then I added it underneath here. And again, I sped this up 400%, so it's going to sound like chipmunks. And I just left all the editing I did in here so you could see it. If you wanted to slow it down, you could using YouTube, but I sped it up here. So you kind of see what I'm doing. I'm just letting those same patterns I use the video switcher for to show the synth, and it's all just middle C or lower or higher. I use a bass, and even if there's an ARP or anything, it starts at middle C. And then that way it's all the same tone, obviously, but it gives it that glitchy sound. And so I used Animoog Z. I used iMono, Poly, and then what else did I use? Oh, ARP Odyssey, Sid Tracker 64, VHS synth. I thought there was one more. All right, here I'm adding the MIXBOX. Gonna give us that tape echo, distortion, phaser, and like an old cassette sound here, tape cassette. Here, I'll let it go for a second. Oh yeah, and I use Tal LX, Tal synth. I threw one little like effect here in Lumafusion. On the video, you can see that. All right, now you're starting to see it come together. So we do have a little bit of visual. I'm going to mess with that a lot in a minute, and you're going to have to bear with that. It's going to be sped up at 400% again, but here we go. Here's where I copy it, and I believe I'm going to take it over to another file. Yep. So I brought over just the video and then exported it so it's no longer a switcher, it's a single MP4. Go back in here, open up this one. Now I'm going to add that MP4 over the audio file that was from PaulStretch. So now it's like I can go mess with the effects. The reason I did this is because otherwise I'd have to individually mess with the effects because it was on a switcher, so each one would be separate. So I just combined them all so that way the effects would go over the whole time. All right, some of this didn't work out here, as with a lot of the video here, but I just didn't want to edit anything out. You know, I went through the whole process. I tried things. They didn't always work. Whatever. So I sped them up, skip around, and all right, now I got some tape hiss, noise, all that stuff on there for the audio, and then we're still keeping the audio from the original screen recordings in there as well from the synths. And then I'll put I'll show the video a little bit in the end, but then I'll put the whole finished product in the end. It's like 2 minutes long. Definitely put a timestamp for that so you can just skip ahead to that. But this was just, the whole project was just I do a lot of this stuff on like Zwobot on the Mac inside Ableton Live, and I do a lot of it with I've used Evo Suite in the past, but I really like Zwobot a lot. Nothing wrong with Evo Suite, just Zwobot's quicker and easier and goes with my flow with audio. And they both are just very, very good tools. VS is amazing too. All three of those are fantastic on Mac. And I just wanted to do something similar on the iPad, but use just Lumafusion and use it as like my DAW or my video editing / music making DAW here. All right, and it worked out pretty good. It was kind of fun. Get that glitchy sound, and I mean I can't do this with any one app really, so Lumafusion was the way to go. I needed to get things from other apps over. And I mean, with screen recording on the iPad, it's pretty amazing. I love it. All right, I'm going to sign off here for a second and come back in a minute. thanks again for watching, and it's got a little bit of time left. What's going to happen next is I'm just going to go in and show the export here. Just going to go straight to the photos. So I'm exporting right now, and then I'll click on it on the screen. I'll still keep screen recording here, but then I'll after that I'll actually put the exported file in there as well, and I threw a little border around it too, just to kind of give it a little something extra. All right, enjoy the rest of this. Thank you for watching. Here we go.